So it was TNA Bound for Glory, October 12th, 2025. They ended up having I think almost a sellout. It was 7,997. So they were three away from 8,000 or something like that. They were really close.
It was 7,794.
Okay, but they were close to getting 8,000 either way, which is their best North American attendance ever. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, they were in the Songa Center in Lowell, Massachusetts, which there's nothing going on there. So if you've never been there, I would recommend maybe steering clear that certain part of the planet, dude. But for anybody that lives there, it's a great place, and we hope you're really enjoying it. But
Especially if you like our show.
absolutely. But yeah, so we got these quick match results that we're going to jump into right here. We got Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian, and they won the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. And this is, I knew some of these guys, but this was kind of cool. I didn't hate this by any means.
It was much more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. And I was amazed at how many of the people that I knew who they were
Yeah,
from watching TNA back in the day, or watching other brands, but specifically some of the older TNA guys like Eric Young. Frankie Kazarian is one of the winners. Like, Kazarian is one of the
yeah.
OG TNA guys.
Matt Cardona, Santino.
Yeah.
They had more than
Nick
that, but
Nemeth is Dolph Ziggler.
yeah, his brother was in
Yep.
there too.
His brother sucks.
Remember, he was in AEW for a little bit, and
Yeah.
it didn't work out too good. I think he
He
tried
was like
suing
talking
them.
shit about Punk and everything. Dork.
Yeah, well, he was friends with the Bucks and all that, so it's not a surprise. But
Yeah.
anyways, we'll move on, and it was the System, and they defeated Order 4 in a 10-person intergender hardcore war. Um, this confused me. They were coming out. Was this a match where they were coming out also like the world, like in, like different intervals?
I think so, yeah.
I
And I was kind of confused as to what the hell is going on.
I mean, you remember at first I was like, Dave, are you watching this? And you're like, yeah, the guy
Yeah.
has like a sledgehammer and he's walking out. And I'm like, yeah, what is this? Didn't they just do this? Like,
I honestly thought that the prior match was continuing somehow, even though we had just clearly saw the
yeah,
two
yeah,
winners. So, but
it was confusing.
if we weren't already intent on watching the whole card, this might have been the part where I shut it off, which would have been a disservice to how good the rest of the pay-per-view actually ended up being. Spoiler alert, everybody, in case you're hoping to listen to a shit on it.
Well, this next one I kind of spaced out on, and I didn't really watch Tessa Blanchard and Gia Miller, so I can't really speak on if it was good or not.
I mostly enjoyed this, and then Tessa Blanchard was talking about today that she's going to get herself some fake boobies, so she's gonna be
Yeah, I
gone for a
saw
little
that.
bit. Yeah, good for her. If you're gonna be happy and you're gonna have big old jugs, I'm happy for you too. Whatever makes you happy, I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we had the Inspiration Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay defeating the Elegance brand, Heather and M, and they retained the TNA Knockouts tag titles. And I'm a surprised this wasn't a bad match by any means. I think that all the girls in this match could easily be on the WWE main roster, and they would probably do pretty well on the AEW roster.
Well, all of these girls used to be in NXT.
Oh, well, that shows you. Oh, Ash by Elegance is that chick?
Right,
That,
right.
that shows
And
you how
then
much.
the Inspiration were the Iconics.
All right, that makes complete sense. That
Yeah.
shows you how much I was paying attention to these people's names and who they really were. I didn't really watch NXT too much, but all of them seem like good hands to me.
Right? You were watching it and you're like, this is more polished than I was expecting. Like, in your mind, you're like, this these girls know how to work.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. But
Hell yeah.
then we had Leon Slater versus Javon Evans in a no contest. This was probably one of the best matches of the weekend.
Yeah, this was a really good match. Both of these guys have bright futures. Obviously, Javon has been featured heavily on
Gained some
SmackDown
weight,
recently, an NXT guy, but Leon
skinny.
Slater, was kind of under the radar guy. But after this match, I think he's going to be getting a little bit more notice in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed this match a lot. it's a stinker that it ended in that no contest, but
People are pissed off about
yeah,
that. Did
because
you
it's like
see all?
the 5 more minutes thing with Santino and all that, and then they
Yeah,
started it off, and then they came out and interrupted it. But they'll get you'll get the match will happen. So
they're gonna run this one back.
yeah,
This will be like on the NXT, the coming up NXT pay per view, probably the Halloween Havoc. That what's that, like in a couple of weeks?
yeah, I think so.
We'll
But
probably watch that one too.
yeah,
Well, at least I will.
yeah, I'll check it out. I really enjoyed this, so why not? Yeah,
Yeah.
then we had Steve Maclin defeating Frankie Kazarian, and he won the TNA International Championship. This was a good match. This was probably one of the, and like I enjoyed almost everything on this, but this wasn't. This was like one of the lower. I was less excited about this than most of the other stuff on the card, but it was still good.
Right. I didn't know who Steve Maclin was prior to this match,
Me
and
either.
I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect much, and these guys put on a pretty good match.
Yeah, it's funny because my maximum or the most exposure that I've had with Frankie was the beginning days of AEW. Where,
SCU.
yeah, where he and what's that guy's name? Where the tag team
Scorpio
champs.
Sky.
Yeah, there you go. But anyways, we'll move on. We got the Hardys, Matt and Jeff, and they defeated Team 3D, Bully Ray and Devon, in one final tables match, and they retained the TNA and NXT tag titles. And then Team 3D ended up retiring. They took their boots off and handed them to the Hardys afterwards. This was an awesome match. I had to watch this. There was no way I was going to miss it. And it delivered. They were all older. I didn't expect what we had back in the day, but man, it was pretty solid stuff.
I enjoyed this match thoroughly. Nice old school
Yeah.
storytelling, and they did a great job. And this was the match that we watched the pay per view for. So obviously, we're gonna like this one a lot. But good job to everybody else for catching our eyes while we were there for something else. Hopefully, other people feel the same way, and they saw the same stuff that, like, I'm gonna start watching TNA more now because of this.
That's the goal, right?
This was a good, yeah, and maybe we might even start covering TNA. Who knows? I mean, that's it. Who knows? Maybe.
Well, the next one here,
It's a lot.
I had actually ended up turning it off after the last match with the Team 3D and Matt and Jeff. So I can't tell you what this next match was like.
I thought that was the main event, but I can tell you that I thought this was a pretty good match, and Santana was kind of the underdog coming into the match. It was one of those things where, like, you figured Trick was probably going to win somehow. A lot of wrestling fans, us included, know Santana's story. He did TNA, he did AEW. He did a whole lot of independence, and now he's the world champion. He bet on himself. Things didn't work out in AEW. He was unhappy, and here he is now. He's got the belt.
Santana and Ortiz.
Yep. He had a nice emotional, like, he brought his daughter in, and she was wearing like his biker cut vest thing that he had, and giving her big old hugs, and they have the title. It was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, I saw some clips of that the after match stuff, but I'm not trying to sound like a dickhead, but after watching Santana and Ortiz and AEW, I did not want to watch this match.
Right, it's hard to see him as a top guy, but after watching this match, it little easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm like super into him, but a little bit more believable as a singles guy that can be taken seriously now.
Now watch this drive.
Oh wow!
Just smashes it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you very much. But that being said, it's high point, low point time. And we're going to jump to my high point here, and that was the Hardys versus the Dudleys. And I know that yours are going to be the same, because why wouldn't it be? And let me go over some reasons here. Nostalgia, respect, a good match, a build, and just we're the audience that this match was for.
Yep, stakes, storytelling, legacy. It was all there. Pretty happy with it, but also shout out to the whole card. That's right. It ended up being way better than I expected. And let's move on to the low point. What was your low point, TJ?
I know we have the same one here too, and that was that intergender match. It was just confusing and had a lot of people that I wasn't really sure who they were, and they were kind of strange characters to me. But I mean, I don't really know what to say about this, and I can't. I don't know, just weird.
I don't necessarily like to see the guys wrestling the gals. You know,
Me either.
This sounds very gay.
Sometimes there are times that it works. I cannot deny that. This, unfortunately, was not one of those times. But we're going to move on to show rankings. And what'd you rank it, TJ? Oh, wow. Thanks, Tony. What did you rank this, TJ?
I ranked this as 6, and
Wow.
I'm going to give a reason why, partially too. This was a good show, and it may have even been better than that. But like I told you, I noticed that the commentary was really good here. You know, I grew up on the 2-man booth. I know you did too, so I'm kind of partial to that being the commentary group the form that I like listening to instead of like the AEW 3 or 4. But these guys did a great job. I'm not sure who either one of them are, but they didn't goof around. It was a sports-like presentation. They were serious. They told the background of the people that were wrestling, their athletic endeavors. They broke down everything very well. They did great.
They weren't screaming at you.
Yeah, they blew the AEW commentary booth out of the water, and I think they're even better than the WWE one.
Yeah,
they did awesome.
I mean, they did a really good job. That was something that you and I kept talking about during the show a little bit. It was refreshing how good the commentary was, and we'll have to learn who those guys are. It's a shame that we don't know, so we can't give them their proper respects here on the show. But if you gentlemen are out there and you hear this, good job. You made the show better. And I'm not sure if I wanted to give it a 5 or a 6. I got to decide during the segment here. Initially, I went with a 5, but I think I'm going to go ahead and round on up to the 6 and copy TJ here. I think this was a better than average wrestling pay-per-view. And everybody should be very proud of the job that they did.
Absolutely, I agree. And both the commentators were
Cracker!
They were, but they knew a lot, and like you said, they just delivered it very well.
absolutely. And that wraps up our 4 reviews of Wrestling of the Evening. It was a